Hi everyone and welcome to Thursday's maths lesson. This week you've been working really hard and I've loved seeing all of your activities, so keep it up. And today for our warm-up game we're going to do something a little bit different. So on my board I've got a dice and I would like you to get your whiteboard and your pen, and we're going to start thinking today about adding, okay? So we know that adding is when we take two numbers or sometimes even three numbers or four numbers and we add them together and the number gets bigger, okay? We can also add with objects. So it's when we take, for example, 3 items and 4 items and we add them all together and then we have an end total, okay? So I'm going to roll the dice now, and whatever number the dice lands on, you're going to write on your whiteboard, okay? So let's have a go. So the first number is 4, so write that number on your whiteboard. And the second number is another 4. Okay, so we've got 4 and 4. Now, we're going to put those two numbers into a number sentence to help us add them together, okay? Now remember our add sign, our addition sign, or sometimes it's called plus, and it looks like this. Okay, and you can remember it by doing this with your arm. So one straight arm and one horizontal arm, and that is our plus sign. So let me see your plus signs, everybody, to give you a real good idea of what that needs to look like. Super. So we know that plus can sometimes be called add as well, okay? And we use this when we want to get two numbers and make them into one bigger number. So let's use our numbers then now in a number sentence. So 4, add or plus, 4 more. And then at the end we're going to use another sign. Can you remember what sign we need at the end of our number sentence? It means all together, or the total. I'll give you a clue. One line and 2 lines. It is our equal sign. So this sign here means the total, or it means all together. Okay? So 4 add 4 equals. So let's think about the different ways that we might be able to add up. So you could find 4 objects and put them on one side of your board, 4 objects and put them on the other side of your board to start with. I'm going to draw counters. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and I need 4 more this side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh. So now I've got 4 one side and 4 the other. And remember this sign here, that means I need to count them all together to get my answer. You're going to count with me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 4 add 4 equals 8. Super job. You can also use the method of counting in your head. So when you've got a number sentence with two numbers, you start with the biggest number. So we'll start with 4 because both of our numbers are the same. So get 4 in your head and I need to add 4 more. So I'm going to get 4 fingers ready and I'm going to add them. So I've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you could use your mental maths to solve that problem too. So you could use counters, you could use a number line or 100 square, or you could use your mental maths as well, okay? So what we're going to do now is I'm going to give you one more to work on, okay? So this time I'm going to roll the dice, I'm going to give you 2 numbers, and I'm going to see if you, so we've got a 4 again, I'm going to see if you can solve that and write down the equation. Oh, and a 1, okay? So write that down in a number sentence and see if you can solve it. This one is quite easy, so I think you'll be able to solve it in your head. So what 2 signs now do I need in my number sentence? I think that you at home will have written 4, add 1. Remember our end symbol? It's our equal sign. Equals. And I know that you definitely know the answer. Big thumbs up if you got it. 5. Now, to play this game and to make it a little bit more challenging, you could do a sum with 3 numbers. So watch me. So we've got 2 plus, 5 this time. Now I'm going to add another one, so I'm making it even trickier. Can you do it? Plus 3. Okay, so I've used 3 numbers this time. So remember my method, start with the biggest number first and then add each one on. So you could draw counters, and don't forget this sign here means all together. So challenge yourselves with our mental warm-up today. If you've got a dice at home, you could play this game with an adult. One of you roll the dice first, then the next one, and then see who can answer the sum the fastest. Or if you haven't got a dice at home, you can go on to Google and type in interactive dice and you'll be able to play the game just like me. So find one that works online and challenge yourself with some 2-digit addition and even maybe some 3-digit addition this morning. Okay, so let's have a look then today at what we've got to do in our workbooks. Okay, so moving on then, we're going to start today with the reception level workbook and we're going to look at page number 9. Now, it's a good job that we've just warmed up our brains with some addition, because today in our workbook that's exactly what we're going to be doing. So let's have a little look then at question number 1. So here it's asking us to add up the numbers and then we've got to match the balloon to the right answer. Now the first one here has been done for us and I'm going to go through this one to give you a really nice idea of what you've got to do with the other 3. So first let's read the number sentence. We've got 3 plus, or add, remember that's our symbol of the day, 3 more. So we know we need to add this number to this number. So I'm going to draw counters and I'm going to draw 3 counters this side because I've got 3 here, and I'm going to draw 3 counters this side because I've got 3 here. So I know now I've got 3 there and I've got 3 there. So what do I need to do to solve this problem? Remember our equal sign? I need to find out how many I've got all together. And all together means I'm going to count them all. So count them with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So my answer is the number 6. You've got 3 more there to do, okay? Using any of the methods we've discussed today. So you could count in your head. I think we've just done this one in our mental starter, so have a little think. You could also use your 100 square. So finding the number 3 here, and we're going to count on 3 more. 1, 2, 3, and look at that. We've landed on the number 6, which is the same answer. So whether you use this method here, the counters, whether you're using your 100 square or even in your head and counting on. Once you've done that, you've got some pictorial sums, and that means we've got some pictures to help us. So I think you can give that a really good go today in your reception booklet. And don't forget, play our game and challenge yourself on your whiteboard, okay? This is just the beginning, so ask an adult to challenge you if you find this really easy, and don't forget to send your pictures. So then moving on, we've got the year 1 booklet. So if this is your booklet, today you're going to turn to page 9 as well. And it's a good job again that we did our mental starter because we are looking at adding today as well. So let's have a look at what we've got to do today. So we've got some pictorial sums here. So we can see that we've got some pictures, and then they've also helped us by transferring those pictures into a number sentence. So you've got both of the different ways here to try and solve the problem, okay? Thinking about our 2 symbols, plus and equals, okay? So if we're adding, we know that all together means we've got to count them all. After number 1, you've got some number sentence work, which we've just done as our starter on the board, okay? So thinking about our number sentences and the different methods we can use to answer those questions, okay? And the last question today is something that you might find a little bit tricky, okay? And it says here, make different pairs of numbers that add up to 7. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a really, really good way to answer this question. So we know that the answer is going to be 7. So I'm going to draw 7 counters on my whiteboard, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now it's asking us to find different ways that we can add the numbers to make 7. So when we think about that, what we actually need to do is we need to separate them. So it's how many different ways we could separate 7 counters, okay, to then add up to still make 7. So for example, if I took 2 counters out of my 7, so if I started with 2, how many do I need to add to make 7? So here are my 7, I've taken away 2. Let's see how many are left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I know that 2 and 5 altogether total 7. So there is another way to make 7, and you can write that then into your boxes, okay? So let's just think about one more way that we can do that, okay? So I'm going to still have my 7 counters on my board here. So back to 7. Now, I've already done 2, so this time I'm going to take 4 as my beginning number. Okay, so if I've got 4 here, I know that I need to add how many to make 7? How many have I got left? 1, 2, 3. So I've got 3 left, and 4 add 3 equals or totals the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I've just thought of 2 ways that make the number 7. And using that method, there are lots of different other ways that you could make the number 7. And that's what question 3 is asking you to do today. So when your adult takes pictures of your learning today, I don't just want to see the answers in the boxes. I would love to see your working out, okay? So using your whiteboard or a piece of paper at home, because this is the most important part. The working out shows me and Miss Evans and Miss Richards exactly how you got your answer and if you managed to solve it independently, okay? So don't forget to take pictures of your working out as well. So really good job there today, year 1, so have a go with that book. Now moving on to the year 2 booklet, okay? So year 2 maths, and today you are on page 9 as well, but we are looking today at something a little bit different. So we did addition yesterday, and today we're going to do subtraction. And subtraction means when we're taking away. So a subtraction is our symbol, so not add, subtract today. And it means we're taking away. And when we take away or we subtract, the number gets smaller, it gets less. Okay, we know that when we add, the number gets bigger. So the other way round, when we take away, the number gets smaller. We're counting backwards. So the first question is asking us to work out the answers to the problems below. Now, the same as adding, you can do this in different methods. And we're going to do this using our 100 square, okay? So I'm going to find the number 14 on my 100 square. So I'm focusing on this sum here. And here is the number 14. Now, how many spaces, how many jumps do I need to make backwards to find my answer? I'm subtracting how many? 5. So 14, take away 5. So I'm going backwards. 1, 2, 3. Now I can't go any further, so I have to go to the next line. 4, 5. Okay, so 14 subtract 5 is 9, and I can write that answer here. You could also do some of these easier sums in your head. So always starting with the biggest number, like we do when we are adding. So if I've got 14 in my head and I know that I need to take away 5, I'm going to count backwards from 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. So I've still got the same answer, but I use my mental arithmetic this time. I use my maths brain. But you can still use this method or a number line or counters as well. Okay, so So have a really good go at solving those first ones on number 1. Now number 2, year 1, does get a little bit tricky, okay? And we've got this word again here that we had a few days ago. And this word, can any of you read that? It says partitioning. Now, let's think about what partitioning means, okay? We know that when we are partitioning numbers, we are looking at the tens and the ones. So when we are subtracting larger numbers, partitioning, it helps us to break down those larger numbers, okay? So let's have a look at the first one. So what they've done first is they've took the first number, and we know that 56 is 5 tens, 50, and 6 ones, okay? 25 is 2 tens, because 2 tens is 20, and 5 ones. And then what they've done is they've used their tens first. So they've taken 5 tens and 2 tens. So 50 take away 20. Okay, so they've taken 2 tens away from 5 tens. And we know that if you subtract 2 from 5, you get 3. Now because it's a tens number, don't forget we need to make sure that we've got our 0 there to represent our tens. So we've done the tens now, so we can almost cross those out because we've worked those out in our subtraction. So 50 take away 20 equals 30. So if we've done our tens, what do we need to do next? Our ones. Now in the first number we've got 6 ones, which they've represented here. And in the second number we've got 5 ones, which is represented here. So 6 ones take away 5 ones. So 6 take away 5 is 1. So you've got your answer here, and all you need to do is put your tens and put your ones back together, which means we have to add them. So 30 and 1 more makes 31. Now I'm going to do this next one with you just as a little bit more of a demonstration because it is rather tricky. So let's have a look then at the 2b together. We've got 75 and we've got 42, okay? And we need to find out what 75 take away 42 is. Now these two numbers are quite big, so the first thing we're going to do is look at the tens. So I've got 7 tens here. So don't forget your 0 because 7 tens is 70. And I need to take away how many tens here? 4. So 7 tens take away 4 tens. So thinking about it, 7 take away 4 is 3. Don't forget you need your 0 to represent it is a 10, remember. So we've done our tens now, so we can cross them out. So we've done our 7 tens, we've done our 4 tens, and we know that there's 30 left. Now let's move on to the ones. How many ones have I got in this number? 5. How many ones have I got in this number? 2. So 5 ones, and remember, take away 2 ones. So I'm always taking away one from the other. So 5, take away 2. You should all be shouting this out. 5 take away 2 is 3. So remember now what we have to do. So we've solved our subtraction here, but we need to make sure that these two numbers are added together to make our answer. So 30 and 3 more. 30 plus 3 is 33. And if you need help finding that, you could do it on your number square. 30, 3 more, and we're adding, remember, so we're jumping forwards this time. 1, 2, 3. Okay? So, we've got the answer 33. So I know that 75 take away or subtract 42 equals, and I've already done it all here, remember, all I'm doing at the end is just adding those two numbers, 33. Wow, what a tricky sum, year 1. Give it a really good go. Remember, partitioning is just your tens and your ones. If you struggle, that's fine. What I would like you to do if you do struggle is work on partitioning the numbers as a whole first. So getting a number, for example 75, and figuring out how many 10s and how many 1s. And then once you've grasped that concept, we'll be able to move on and apply it to subtraction. So if this does get a little bit tricky, that's fine. Email your teachers and let us know so that we can help you further, okay? Again, like the Year 1 book, it's all about your working out today. So an answer in a box isn't going to show me or Miss Evans or Miss Richards that you can do it. I need to see, and Miss Richards and Miss Evans need to see your working out. That tells us how smart your maths brain is, okay? And if you are understanding this concept today, because it is tricky. So a lot of work there today in your maths book. Have a really, really good go. Get your brains working with our warm-up. Take some videos, take some photos, and I can't wait to see your hard work today. Bye!